Wow. Let me first say that making videos is not as easy as I thought it was going to be. I had like 3 good ideas for videos tonight, and my brain and my computer did not want to work with me. The first video I wanted to make felt like it was going to offend some people, and so I didn't post that one. And it was also about politics, and I don't want to talk about politics on here because politics makes me depressed. So I just scratched that video completely. The second one, I didn't like the sound of it, so I also scratched that one. Third one, I felt like I was rambling, so I just got rid of that one. That one didn't sound very good. And now here's take 4. This video I'm actually going to enjoy talking about because every time I tell this story to friends, it makes me happy. So I hope you guys enjoy this. This is the history of how I found out about one of my all-time favorite bands. A few summers ago, I was actually really depressed, and I felt like I wasn't going to leave this state of depression, and for the time being, I felt kind of useless. So I went to the music store to see if I could pick up some music to listen to. So, like, when I got there, I was kind of moping around, and the store was about to close. It's a store called Hastings. If you guys haven't heard of it, it's a store that sells books, video games, movies, and a bunch of electronic stuff. But yeah, so I was sitting there in the music aisle just browsing through music, and I couldn't find anything. And it was about closing time. It was 10:30 or so, and like the store closes at 11 or whatever. Anyway, so I was looking desperately for music, and I couldn't find anything. And then all of a sudden, this song comes on on the overhead speakers, and it made me want to dance, and it put the biggest smile on my face. I was really happy, and it's just really cool. The song was The Handshake, and it's off of MGMT's album Oracular Spectacular, and I highly recommend that album because it's probably one of my all-time favorites. And yeah, so I picked that album up that night. I listened to like the first song in the car, and then when I came home, I was playing Borderlands, and I listened to that whole album like 4 times that night, and every single time I felt really good. All the depression I had leading up to that night was just completely gone by the end of the last time I listened to the album before I fell asleep. A few years later, I found out that they had another album out. I bought that album, and it wasn't as good at the time, but I enjoyed it, and I listened to it in full, like, I don't know, just about like a few weeks ago, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot more than I did before, and yeah, and I'm really excited for their new self-titled album coming out on September 17th. And they've already released 2 of the tracks on YouTube, Your Life is a Lie and Alien Days. And right now, I'm not trying to promote them or anything. They're just like one of my favorite bands, so I just want to talk about them. That's probably one of my favorite musical experiences because of the drastic change it did to not only my mood, but on my perception of music and how I viewed music from that point on. So I felt like sharing that with you guys. Anyway,